My name is Joseph, and on Passer Play, I will be reviewing Tomb Raider. Now, this is a far cry from our heroine's PlayStation roots, but Lara Croft gets a shiny new update both to her graphics and to her gameplay mechanics, putting a new spin on our pistol-wielding vixen. Now, this game is a prequel to the original Tomb Raider games, so this places Lara Croft just out of university, and we join up with her as she is striking out on her first archaeological dig, and the game fades down to a shot of the ship called the Endurance, where Laura is in her usual lone wolf self because she is following the lead of a seasoned archaeologist, Dr. Whitman. Laura does some research and feels that they are looking in the wrong area, and joined by her best friend from university, a girl named Sam, they bring it to the attention of Dr. Whitman, who quickly blows them off. But the crew of the Endurance and its captain, who is an old friend of Laura's dad named Conrad Roth, who I feel more closely resembles Hannibal from the A-Team, decide that they will follow Laura's lead, and when a plan comes together, they enter the Dragon's Triangle. After a huge storm and a very dramatic ship-sinking cutscene, Laura ends up beached on a mysterious island, hoping to find a way for the crew to be rescued, only to realize they have landed on the island of Himiko the Sun Queen. Cue thunderclap, if it's there, because, have an actual sound guy. So now I'm going to not hit on any major plot points of the story, as I feel they should be experienced firsthand in a way that the plot flows better than most movies. However, before I can go into what I like about this game, I must say the one thing that needs to be said, in that this game is lacking the puzzle aspect of the original Tomb Raider games. Now, while I understand a bit of the reason for this, I feel it is a bit of what made the Tomb Raider franchise so great. But they do throw you a couple throughout the game of optional tombs that can be explored. However, they feel as if they are so basic a preschooler can do them, because you move past them so quickly and back onto the main plot of the game. In these tombs, you will find maps of areas and upgrades to your weapons, as well as a brief history on the island and some plot points. Along Laura's journey, you will also find some standalone relics. Some will be fake and others will be real, but the cool thing about them is they all have real historical roots. So now, while the game is pretty straightforward, you can take the detour to look for relics or GPS coordinates or side objects, such as lighting fires of statues or shooting hanging lanterns you come across. All of these will gain Laura experience, and you will be able to use that to buy skills, from carrying more ammo to fighting dirty to jumping farther, down to taking less damage from weapon fire or fall damage. Laura's skills are not the only things that are upgradable, because along the way you will find that this island is full of junk from the destruction of many other ships, so you will find boxes of salvage along the way that you can use to upgrade your weapons. The bow, the pistol, the rifle, the shotgun. Now, I feel these are spread out a bit far. However, that being said, it does give you a feel of accomplishment when you finally get them. The weapons also have uses to get past some previously unassailable barriers, so backtracking will be needed and can be done from campfires that have quick access points. Now, I find the music of this game to be one of its highlights, because whoever composed the soundtrack should get a medal. The music matches the moments, so whether you feel triumph or sadness or just the feeling of urgency to kill the bad guys and move on, the music never disappoints, and this allows, with the graphics, which flow seamlessly between cutscenes and gameplay, allows you to feel enamored with Laura's trials and tribulations, so much so that when you die, you actually feel bad and try harder to avoid dying, because they are gruesome and sometimes very graphic. Now, that being said, before I can move on to my closing thoughts, I have to touch on the multiplayer system, because rarely does a game have both a good single and multiplayer system. That is the case with Tomb Raider, as I found myself playing the multiplayer function, trying to collect the pieces to unlock both weapons and skills while trying to defeat my opponents in PvP, and let me tell you, I nerd raged a couple of times, but it was still fun. I will admit that the changing of factions between each round can get confusing at first, but once you figure it out, then you have to equip both factions with weapons and skills. You'll easily forget that part. In conclusion, Tomb Raider is a game worth getting. The gameplay, the story, the graphics alone make it something you will enjoy, but add in multiplayer, and even if you only play through it once, the multiplayer alone will bring you back and make this a purchase you won't regret. My name is Joseph. This is Pass or Play. please subscribe, and thank you for watching.